Hi, I'm Mr. Mesler, and I am your I'm your child's Earth and Space Science teacher. Let's get into a little bit about this class, and we'll first start off with a little bit about myself. All right, I attended Texas A&M University. I have received a master's in education from Texas A&M, as well as it's specifically in curriculum and instruction. In addition to Earth and Space, I'm also teaching astronomy and physics here at Stratford. I used to teach IPC for about 10 years prior to joining the physics team about 3 years ago. I coached physics here for I coached physics. I coached football, basketball, and baseball here for about 8 years, my first 8 years. I'm no longer coaching anymore. I'm just straight teaching. And then I've also served on the district improvement team as well as been the grade level physics team lead for the last 2 years. Again, I was in IPC. I was also their team lead for about 10 years prior to joining the physics team. I'm married to my wife, Melissa. I have two wonderful daughters. Picture on the right is Gracie. She's 10. And on the left is Kaylin. She's 6. They're just growing up so fast. My wife and I kind of talk all the time how we have just little people running around, and they have such big personalities for being so small. We live in Tomball. I'm originally from Nocona, Texas. Population about 3,100 plus. My father and mother own and operate the local newspaper there in Nocona. I'm the middle of 3 boys. My youngest brother and his wife are also in education. My youngest brother is a principal at Mineral Wells Middle School, and my sister-in-law is a counselor at Mineral Wells High School. My grandmother was also in education for 40 plus years. She was in special ed. She was a resource teacher and did various other jobs in special ed. So let's get into Earth and Space. The things that I'm looking for from all my students is first communication. Communication is going to be big. If stuff's going on with the environment or everything that's going on, I need them to communicate either through email or through messaging. They've got to communicate anything. If they make up work, if they've done something late, I want that to be communicated. That one was a big one for me. Like, look, you didn't meet the deadline. You've done it after the deadline, after I've already put in grades. You need to let me know to go back and look for that. So that's going to be a big deal that I'm going to be harping on this year, that I really wanted that to be a point of emphasis. The second thing about communication is that we're trying as a school and a community to encourage our students and to teach them how to communicate in a formal fashion through email, through messaging. It doesn't matter. When you're talking to your teacher, we want it to be formal, and we want to make sure that we are doing that. So I'm sorry, my camera looked a little tilted. So I really want to encourage the students to follow this. And so we're going to be modeling that. I'm going to point it out to them when they send me like text speech and broken English. I'm like, hey, take the time, write it the correct way. We got to get in the habit of this because it's going to help you beyond Stratford. It's going to be a life skill that we're trying to help teach. Next thing is stay on top of work. It can pile up, especially in this class. This class, we go pretty quick. It's really fast paced. We got a lesson every day. We've got something we're doing every day. We don't have any time to play with this class. We just have too much content, and that'll make a little more sense in the next slide. And the last thing is be kind. I want everyone to be kind. That's something we got to get back to as a society. I want to encourage that. Just take the time to humanize, sympathize, empathize with our fellow people around us. So the structure of this class, this is considered a credit recovery class, and so what that means is that your child's here to get back on track in terms of credits. They're behind on credits. We're trying to catch them up so that they can graduate on time with their class. This class is a condensed class, meaning that it's a year-long class normally, but we're condensing it to a semester. We're taking the content, we're changing it, we're modifying it to a semester long, where each 9 weeks is technically a semester's worth of credit. So the first 9 weeks is really a half credit, and the second 9 weeks is a half credit. So your student has the opportunity to earn a full credit in a semester, which frees up their schedule in the second semester for them to go make up credits if they're behind in something else. Or, like I always tell the kids, I'm like, if you're only behind a single credit and you're doing well in all your other senior classes, once you get on track and you've caught up in science, you might earn that off-campus back, or that study hall, or that teacher aid, or something that you're not working as hard. And I get that. Like, that's kind of a reward for our seniors, and that's kind of like the carrot. Like, get back on that. Like, not just graduating, like, have that nice second semester your senior year. So we break this down. This is a project-based class. We're going to use projects for about 50% of the grades, as you see the breakdown. Projects are a way for them to show mastery other than testing. We're still doing tests just because of the nature of this class. The way I do my tests is the kids will be doing their quizzes. The test questions come directly from the quizzes. They're exact same questions put into the test. I may use all the quiz questions, or I may only use a few of the quiz questions. But I'm going to make a test from those quiz questions. And with the quizzes, the kids have an unlimited amount of times they can retake it. I'm kind of getting ahead of myself on a slide. I'll probably read that up again, but they should know those answers by the time they take the test. That should be something that they're on top of. Makeup work, we'll just follow district policy. If you're absent a day and I assign something, it's due, you'll get it assigned the next day that you come. If you're absent a day that something's due, for you it'll be due the day that you get back. So it's standard policy right across the board. Late work, I take late work for these guys, full credit. They can turn it in late to me. I only have a deadline of the end of the 9 weeks. If they can get me their work by the end of the 9 weeks, I'm going to take it. Full credit. Get it turned in. Okay? I don't care what it looks like. I want it done. The point for these guys is to get the work done, to show that they're doing it, to show that they know the material, to demonstrate mastery. The only way to do that is to extend that graciousness to them and say, hey, you have until the end of the 9 weeks, because the 9 weeks is the end of our semester. It's a hard deadline for us. It really is. And I cannot take anything past the end of the 9 weeks. So get it to me by the end of the 9 weeks. We're good. I'm going to grade it. I'm going to get it in, give you your full credit for it. Retakes. On the quizzes, like I was saying earlier, you can retake it as many times as you want. I will only let them stop retaking it once they're over an 80. Once they're over an 80, that shows me they know the majority of the content. They should be able to perform on the test as we move forward. On the tests are a one-shot chance. It's not really one shot. If they fail, they get one more opportunity, and we're gonna cap them out though on that retake at a 70. So the highest they can get on retakes is 70, but they have to fail the test originally first. So we're just kind of keeping along with the same policies that kind of been around for a while that I'm sure you're used to in your other science classes as your student has progressed through. Tutorials, it's highly recommended they use Spartan time. If they're having questions, they're having trouble, they need to come see me during Spartan time. That is guaranteed time during the day. They have no excuse that they can't come see me. If they're virtual, we can do it via Zoom. I can send them out my Spartan time Zoom link. They can jump into my Spartan time Zoom. They can ask all sorts of questions. I am available 100% during Spartan time. 40 minutes a day. They've got me middle of the day. They're already here. They have to be here. Use me as a resource so that you can move along. Tuesdays after school and Thursday after school are my normal tutorial times that are offered after hours. If you need, I'm the only one that's teaching Earth and Space, so this is pretty much what I've got. I'm really not available during the mornings. If that becomes an issue, we can address it, but that's going to be a one-on-one, case-by-case scenario. We might be able to work something out, but as of now, it extends something outside of school that's kind of outside of my control. But that's where we're at. But again, I'm willing to work with you. Don't think that me saying that is, oh no, I won't do more. Talk to me. Let me know the situation. Give me the opportunity to help. I want to help. So please give me that. I'm available during 8th period if we need to do a parent-teacher call or a video conference via Zoom. Also, 3rd period, I could be available, but I'm part of the physics team. And that's when we meet to plan and do a bunch of our work together. Let me know ahead of time, and I can make myself available also during 3rd period. So I'm available both A and B days here on our schedule, either in the morning on 3rd period or in the afternoon for 8th period on a B day. All right, I'm going to take the time right now. I want to show you, this is our It's Learning page. So if you look at it right here, this is what your student will see as they come on. You see it splash right here. There's the Zoom link. There's that. And if I have the lesson, since they've already had the lesson, that it's not posted for tomorrow, but the lesson would populate right underneath that as well, what we're doing for the day. Any announcements, I make it here. Like if they're having trouble, if it's an asynchronous day, that's what they would check is the announcements. They need to get in the habit, especially if they're virtual, of checking the announcements every day. Because if I'm gone, if I'm absent, it'll be an asynchronous day. If it's an asynchronous day like it is going to be on the 14th, when we're testing for the juniors taking the PSAT, then they also need to be on here checking that as well. Okay, let me switch back over. Okay, sorry. All right, so I think that's it. That's all that I've got. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. There's my contact information. Again, I really want to help. I'm really I understand the struggle and I understand the position these kiddos are in, and I really want to help them get across the finish line. Again, reach out to me if you have any questions. Have a good one. Thank you for your time.